going to regularly do these live shows where my telephone number will appear on the screen, and you can phone during the show and ask any questions that you have about any health related issues. And I'll try and cover different health issues in between as well. So please leave a notification in the comment section if there's anything you want me to cover. And please subscribe to the channel and press the notifications bell so that you get notifications of when the next up and coming shows are. So I look forward to meeting a lot of you, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Hello, welcome to Nectar Homeopathy. My name is Beena, and I'd like to introduce you to a new interactive live show that I'm bringing for you guys. I've had lots of feedback that you would like this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to regularly do these live shows where my telephone number will appear on the screen, and you can phone during the show and ask any questions that you have about any health related issues. And I'll try and cover different health issues in between as well. So please leave a notification in the comment section if there's anything you want me to cover. And please subscribe to the channel and press the notifications bell so that you get notifications of when the next up and coming shows are. So I look forward to meeting a lot of you, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to my program, and I firstly would really like to apologize. Due to some technical issues, I was unable to come live exactly at 9 o'clock, so we are a few minutes late. So a few guys have been messaging and saying, you know, are you actually coming on live, because I did send out notifications, so I'm really sorry about that. So let's get going with our live show this morning. We've got a few technical hitches. I think the clarity is not so clear with the connection today, but please forgive us, as you know, we're still dealing with a few technical hitches. So you've got these few things going on my face and forehead. Please ignore. Okay, we're going to talk today about tonsillitis, sinusitis, and allergic rhinitis. Yeah, so these are sort of the main issues that we're going to be talking about. Now, these type of issues are really affecting people these days, and generally as well, especially allergic rhinitis. It affects a lot of people throughout the summer months and even the winter months, believe it or not. You'd think that they don't, but you know, people suffer a lot. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 calls this morning regarding sinusitis, and you know, the sort of issues that people are having. Last week we talked about colds and flus and throat infections and things like that, and I had a huge response from people afterwards, saying how useful they found the program, and some suggestions about what I should do in forthcoming programs. So I will be looking at those topics and letting you know in advance, a little bit in advance, as to what those topics are. Now, this is people who are watching me on Facebook and also on YouTube. I would request that please, if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, then that would be great, because then you'll get notifications of when the next live will be. I try to keep it to a regular time, but you know, sometimes it's difficult. So if you go onto the Nectar Homeopathy channel, subscribe, press the bell for the notifications, and then you'll be notified of when the next program is and what the topic is going to be. Okay, so let's talk about firstly tonsillitis. Now, tonsillitis can affect people of any age. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a childhood issue, although a lot of children do suffer with tonsillitis, and often, you know, even that it sort of settles as a child gets older, you know, or sometimes parents are advised by doctors that they should have the children's tonsils removed. So I get a lot of people who come to me who have been on a number of different antibiotics, a number of different times they've been on antibiotics, and these, they've often come to a road where they've been told that possibly you should have surgery for your child. And when the child's very young, some parents are not, they don't want to put their child through that. Now, with homeopathy, I get parents who ask me, oh, is there anything that you can do for tonsillitis? And there is. I'd like to sort of really put the message out there that please try homeopathy before you resort to anything, any type of removal surgery. The tonsils are there for a reason. They flare up. They give us an indication as to that there's something wrong in the body. There's some infection, and it's sort of almost as a warning sign for us to take action. So when you remove those, again, that barrier has sort of gone. Although a lot of people don't have any complications, but then sometimes people start getting a complication with reflux and things like that. So I would recommend, please try homeopathy. Now, there's various types of tonsillitis. There's people who get tonsillitis and they'll just get redness at the back of the throat, and then you'll have people who get tonsillitis and they'll get like white bits on the back on the tonsils at the back of their throat. And there's people who probably get a combination of both, a little bit of both. People will get inflammation, so enlarged tonsils. So when you open your mouth, you can see that the tonsils are quite enlarged. So the medicine that is chosen in homeopathy will depend on what symptoms the child or the adult is having at the time. Now, when somebody has a bout of tonsillitis, one of the first remedies immediately, fast-acting relief providing remedy is aconite. And again, that can be provided for a lot of colds and flus and remedies. When there's sudden onset, for example, you've just been outside and you've come back in and suddenly you feel a little bit unwell, it's starting to, you can feel the symptoms coming on. You can take a dose of aconite and that can really help and provide immediate relief. Now, but then often the tonsillitis progresses. So the tonsillitis progresses and the whiteness on the back of the tonsils begins to develop, and showing that there's signs of infection. Now, for that, the ideal remedy would be hepasulfur. Again, there's different potencies in homeopathy. So it's ideally for something like tonsillitis, I would recommend that you seek approval from a homeopath, or seek guidance from a homeopath as to what potency and for how long you should take it. I wouldn't take any risks with just self-prescribing for something like tonsillitis. So yeah, hepasulfur is a great remedy there. Now, if the tonsils are quite enlarged and they look quite big, then something like Britacarb you can add in as well. That's a great one if the tonsils are enlarged. And a lot of children I see, they'll have these enlarged tonsils, and possibly they'll have breathing difficulty at night, almost snoring, and heavy breathing in the day, because the obstruction of the tonsils, the enlarged tonsils, causes all of these issues. Now, often the tonsillitis brings on a cough, and there's various types of coughs we talked about last time, but a common cough that comes with tonsillitis is this barking sort of cough, hoarse, dry barking. And again, as we talked last week, something like spongia is a really good remedy which you can use at that point. But again, I would like to reiterate that please, seek guidance from a homeopath, somebody who's qualified and trained enough to give you the right guidance. And so yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's any messages come through. Please feel free to message me if there's any questions or any messages that you would like me to answer. I'll try and do this live. If you want to call in maybe and talk to me directly, you can do that. I'm here until 9:30. So if you give me a call on 0758 723 7002, and I will try to answer your questions. Today's topic is about tonsillitis, sinusitis, allergic rhinitis, But if there's any other questions, then please let me know. I've had some questions come through on WhatsApp, which I'm going to just finish talking about some of the things. I just want to summarize a little bit, because sometimes I answer so many questions and then I don't actually cover what I wanted to say. And then I'll try and cover those questions afterwards. And if there's any more questions, please feel free to message me, WhatsApp me, or give me a call live now and we can have a quick chat. Okay, so next topic is sinusitis. Again, something that's really popular or common, should I say, at the moment. Let's just see if there's any message. No, thank you for somebody who's liking what I'm saying at the moment. Okay, so sinusitis, inflammation of the nasal area, a blocked nose often, or a runny nose, headache, swelling of the eyes, particularly around this whole sort of region here, and the headaches can form across the forehead and the eyes, and really cause this horrible sort of bunged up feeling that's there all the time. Now, sinusitis doesn't necessarily only happen in the winter months. People can have these symptoms all year round even, and I've had people who've come to me who've had these symptoms all year, for a few years even, and once they take homeopathy, then they can get some relief from there. Often if you go to your doctors, they'll probably give you maybe an antihistamine or something like that will help reduce some of the symptoms that are associated with sinusitis. However, again, these type of issues, they're not necessarily a cure. They're a maintenance. So you're just suppressing the symptoms, and you're maintaining the symptoms, and you're not actually treating the symptoms. So something homeopathy, again, we look at each symptom. So each person will have something slightly different associated with sinusitis. So one of the common sort of remedies that is used for sinusitis is Cilicia. Again, Cilicia is for people who are always cold, really sort of cold remedy, and even the person might have some bleeding, nasal bleeding as well, due to the sinusitis. Somebody's got a headache. Thumping headache often occurs with sinusitis because there's so much blockage, and the headache is like a frontal headache. And with that, we'd also probably give something like belladonna. And but a really common sort of remedy, or a really popular remedy, is for that real sort of nasal discharge, when there's a huge blockage around the nasal area. And a lot of the discharge is going back into the throat rather than out. And this is quite a common problem with sinusitis. And for that, a common remedy is Kali bichrome. So, that can be given in 30 or 200 potency, and that will help for that congestion that's not flowing down but back flowing into the throat, which can cause a lot of discomfort for people. Now, often people might get a discharge with sinusitis. Now, if you've got a discharge coming out, again, the type of remedy that is used will depend on the color of the discharge. So sorry to talk about things like that, but yeah, if you've got a yellowy green type of discharge, then something like Nasal would be ideal for that type of discharge. And often if the discharge is like a greeny color, then you might use something like pulsatilla, especially if the patient's feeling quite tearful and emotional and really fed up with the symptoms. Then something like pulsatilla is really good to use for sinusitis. Now, all of these are sort of remedies which we recommend. However, there are different strengths of each remedy. So there's 30, 200, 1000. So it's always good to get professional opinion and get a proper diagnosis and a treatment regime to get a faster result. And often you have to be careful when using homeopathic remedies with each other. Some remedies cancel out other remedies and might antidote other remedies. So it's always good to just get a professional opinion before you start any medication. Okay, so let's see some of the questions that have been coming in, because we don't have much time left as we started quite late. Okay, so I'm gonna afterwards, if we have some time, I want to cover allergic rhinitis, but possibly that might wait until next week if I don't have enough time. But I'll try and summarize so we can move on to a different topic next week. So I had a message through from someone saying that they wake up in the morning and they have continuous sneezing. There's like 15-20 different sneezes continuously in the morning. What can I take for this? Now, a really good remedy for this is natmure. So you're feeling cold, you're sneezing constantly in the morning. Natmure is a great remedy to take. There are also other remedies that can help. Again, a more comprehensive, detailed history taken from someone will help us to identify which remedy is accurate for you. So I'm just giving you the general, the remedy on a general level, but it's good to get that advice to get the specific one for you. So the next question I've got is, I know it's the winter months now, but I have an allergy to freshly cut grass. So freshly cut grass makes this person constantly sneeze and eyes water and nose running and everything. And there are a few remedies for this, but a really good remedy for people who struggle with freshly cut grass is dulcamara. So that would be a good remedy for somebody to take if these were the type of symptoms. So I have a couple of questions which aren't actually related to the topic that we are talking about right now, and that is teething. Sorry, I've got some question about my 6-month-old is teething, and she's very clingy and she's constantly wanting to be held and really irritated and crying and dribbling and everything. Now, homeopathy is great for children at this stage of their life, and a really good remedy is chamomilla. And I think these days even your GP or your midwife will probably give you these granules to put on the child's in the child's mouth, and these granules are chamomilla. Essentially, that is what's in them, although it's a really low dose at 3x or something. But yeah, so chamomilla is great for children who are teething, and if they if they're quite red, and they might sort of be having a throbbing headache. It's difficult to tell with children, but belladonna would also help for children during teething phases as well. Got a random question, and the last question I'm going to take today before I then go into allergic rhinitis a little bit and summarize that before we finish. And it's somebody saying that the winter months and the cold weather has made the arthritis flare up, and as a result she has a swelling all around the knees and the ankles. Again, arthritis is quite a complex condition for which we would recommend that you talk to us and we'll go through a history, but on a general level, if there's swelling around the knees and the ankles, then a great remedy is arnica. It's something that a lot of people are familiar with. Arnica can be used for a multitude of things, but one of the main things is the swelling around the ankles. Okay, brilliant. So we've not had any live calls come in today, but if anybody wants to join us, we still have a few minutes left. Just trying to see if there's any more messages come through on WhatsApp. I think that's all I'm going to take now, because we only have 3 or 4 minutes left. So one of the topics that we've got is sorry, I'm just going to refresh this. I think there might be. Okay, yeah, I've got a message on the YouTube. Somebody asking if I can speak Punjabi, and if also that they've been diagnosed with polyps, and do you think homeopathy can heal this condition? Okay, yes, I can speak Punjabi, and I can also speak Hindi. I do have a lot of people whose parents are in India, in Punjab or in the rest of India, and I do consultations over the phone from here for people who are abroad. We do a consultation only facility for that, and I speak in Punjabi and Hindi, and then obviously over in India medicines are available locally, and then I recommend the names of them, and then people can use them. But yeah, if there's friends or family or anyone who would like somebody who can speak in Hindi or Punjabi, then you can definitely do your consultation in those languages as well. I mean, our medications go all over the world, even to the US and Canada. So yeah, just feel free to give us contact. So just to summarize quickly, actually, I think we might be sort of running out of time. Oh gosh, sorry, I didn't answer the question about the polyp. Firstly, my question is where is this polyp? And I'm presuming it's a nasal polyp, because we're talking about sinus and allergic rhinitis. Now, yes, there's definitely treatment in homeopathy for nasal polyps. A lot of people who have polyps, their only option is usually to have surgery and have the polyp removed. But with homeopathy, we can gradually give you remedies which will help to reduce the size of the polyp. So please feel free to sort of get in touch, and I can give you more information. It is a little bit of a longer treatment with polyps, because obviously you're thinking about something and you're aiming to reduce the size of it. It just takes a few months, but yeah, we can definitely get in there. Just had one more message. Okay. Yep, I've had a message saying that you're suffering from a back problem, and can you help? Yeah, I mean, homeopathy can help with back problems. Now, the thing is to ask whether there's a mechanical problem. Is there an injury? Is there any prolapse discs, or is it muscular? You know, so it's quite complicated when you look at the back. So, you know, I think it would be great, you know, if you could get in touch with me. Give me a call on 07587237002, or feel free to WhatsApp me on that number, and I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about your back problem. But definitely with homeopathy we can help, whether it's muscular, whether it's a prolapse disc, or, you know, whatever the issue is, we can help, and also give you some exercises as well that will help to strengthen the back and the core muscle, because often back problems or lower back pain can be due to a weak core muscle area around the stomach area. So the aim is to strengthen that, so you're supporting your back. So I hope that's helped. There's a reply. So I have a sitting job. Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. So it's muscular, I would say, more so, you know, and due to the lack of movement. So yeah, definitely homeopathy can help. So give me a call or message tomorrow, and we'll arrange a time, and then I'll be able to give you more information on how homeopathy can help with back problems. I might even later on do a program about back issues, because it's quite a common issue these days, especially with COVID. I found there was a huge influence because people weren't as active, you know, people were staying at home, and you know, they were actually just had another question. Just one second, I'm going to grab this question which is on WhatsApp. See, technically it's hard, I've got to flick from one to the other. Okay, so we've got a question to say, do I treat hi Bina, do you have treatment for eczema for babies? Most definitely. I think for children, homeopathy is, you know, is a gift, really, I would say, especially something like eczema. Now, I treat a lot of people for eczema, a lot of children for eczema. And one thing I always say to people, parents who come to me and their child has eczema, don't let anybody tell you any different, but eczema is always due to an allergy. There's always an allergy to something, either internally or externally. And often in this country, they will not test your child for the allergy unless you really push for it, especially if the child is very young, and they'll try to just, you know, tell you to put creams on and things like that. And they'll probably wait till the child is about 2 or 3, possibly even, before they do any type of allergy testing. But with the homeopathy and with my experience, when you come to me, I hopefully should be able to identify what I think that the allergy might be to, and that narrows it down. So when you do go to your GP and say, well, I think my child is allergic to this, then the asking for that test becomes a little bit easier. So yeah, definitely, if you'd like to give me a message, and we'll arrange a time and we'll talk about eczema and the treatment for eczema for your child. Okay, I think we're sort of running out of time. So yeah, we are, and I'm really sorry. I must apologize again for the late start. Just technical issues. Not very technical, but I'm getting there. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for the questions. Please subscribe to the channel and press the notification button so you get notifications of when the next live will be. Please share the video with your friends and family, and press the like button. So if you like, what I'm saying and what you're hearing, so that we can actually produce more of these videos if you find them useful. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Hello, welcome to Nectar Homeopathy. My name is Bina, and I'd like to introduce you to a new interactive live show that I'm bringing for you guys. I've had lots of feedback that you would like this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to regularly do these live shows where my telephone number will appear on the screen, and you can phone during the show and ask any questions that you have about any health related issues. And I'll try and cover different health issues in between as well. So please leave a notification in the comment section if there's anything you want me to cover. And please subscribe to the channel and press the notifications bell so that you get notifications of when the next up and coming shows are. So I look forward to meeting a lot of you, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.